Okay, just we are getting started, don't worry. Just 1 second, 1 second. Okay, done. So sorry for being late, and very good evening, everyone. And thank you for waiting. Thank you so much. Actually, there was some technical glitch. That is why I got late by 4 or 5 minutes. Sorry for that. And today in the class, like in the previous classes, what you were studying about kinematics, right? You were solving questions from kinematics, done. So today in the class, what we are going to do in kinematics, basically, I will take you through graphs, done. So let's learn how we can draw xt graph, displacement versus time, acceleration versus time, velocity versus time, done. So these things we will go through. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So what we are going to learn: displacement time curve, velocity time curve, acceleration time curve, and any other curve. Done. So our target for today's class is कि जब class end होगा तो you will be having idea of कि how to solve questions coming from graph portion in kinematics, right? So that's my motto for the today's class. Let's get started now. Before we start with the thing, we must know basic points of the graph. जैसे सबसे बेसिक चीज जो ग्राफ का होता है वो स्लोप होता है. सो व्हाट इज स्लोप? दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो, राइट? वी शुड बी क्लियर ऑफ सच थिंग्स. तो देखो क्या होता है, ये क्या होता है स्लोप. यू ऑल मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ इट, राइट? But again, I'm assuming कि even if you don't know, I will help you here. So slope is, what is slope? जैसे if you have seen such kind of a structure in parks, sliding structures used to be there, right? So just imagine if this sliding structure is something like this. It will be very slippery, na? You just even if you are standing here, you will come down. But if this is the structure, it will be a bit more stable. But if this is the structure, here you can comfortably sit also. And if this is the structure, you can more comfortably sit. So more it is making an angle with the earth, more it will be dangerous for us to sit there, and more easily we will come down, we can say. So what is changing in these 3 or 4 structures? What is changing? That theta angle that it is making with the earth, right? So here it is theta 1, here it is theta 2, and here it is theta 3 and theta 4. So we can say that the slope of this first one is least and slope of this one is max, right? So what is slope? Slope is how much a particular line or particular structure is inclined with particular axis. Done. So here if in the graph I say this is my line, this is my line, done, and how much angle it is making with the positive x-axis. Now just look, listen carefully to these terms. How much angle it is making with positive x-axis. Done. So how much angle it is making? देखो theta angle बना रहा है. So what will be slope? So slope को technically we call it, slope को define करते हैं हम लोग tan theta से. Done. And how you can calculate tan theta? How we can calculate tan theta? So if this is the line, so tan theta is nothing but y by x, है ना? tan theta हम लोग कैसे define करते हैं? Y by x. So slope is what? Slope is tan theta, and it is y by x, right? So slope may be positive, slope may be negative. When the slope will be positive, now this is important. So if my line is making acute angle with the positive x-axis, slope will be positive. क्योंकि slope का formula क्या है? Tan theta. And when tan is positive and angle is between 0 and 90 degree. Done. So tan हमारा positive यहाँ पे होगा. इस quadrant में tan positive होता है या इस quadrant में होता है ना? So if my line is making an angle that is acute angle, then slope will be what? Positive. लेकिन suppose कर लो कि मेरे पास एक ऐसा curve है, something like this. So how much angle it is making with the x-axis? That you have to calculate with the positive direction of x-axis. एक काम करो, to just avoid the confusion, let's draw it more like this. Suppose this is the line, So if we have to talk about its slope, what will be its slope? First, we will see how much angle it is making with the positive x-axis. So this is positive x-axis, and how much angle this is making, this much. So if this is the angle, then slope will be what? Slope will be your tan of this angle. Isko alpha bula lo, tan alpha. And certainly this alpha is greater than 90 degree, right? If alpha is greater than 90 degree, tan alpha will be negative. So here it has negative slope. So this is slope. Slope means if there is a straight line, how much angle it is making with the positive x-axis. It can be negative, it can be positive. Now, अगर मैं यहाँ पे और भी जाऊं तो if I'm saying कि this is the structure and my curve is not a straight line, if my curve is something like this, what will be its slope? So you can see here कि its slope is changing as we traverse the curve. As we go up the curve, what is happening? Its slope is changing definitely, है ना? So if the curve is not a straight line, how we will calculate or how we will draw its slope? So if we have to find the slope of this curve at any specific point, suppose कर लो कि we have to calculate slope at point this A point. So at this point, what we will do? We will simply draw tangent at this point, and we can see here that this tangent is making an angle theta, that is acute. So slope of point A will be positive, right? If you draw tangent at this point, it is this angle. So you can see here this angle alpha बुला लो इसको. तो यहाँ से clearly दिख रहा है alpha is less than theta. It means कि this point has less slope than that of this point. So as we move up of this curve, slope is increasing gradually. So I hope now it's clear that how we can calculate slope and what is the meaning of slope, right? क्योंकि ये बहुत ही important. और दूसरी चीज जो important, जैसे यहाँ पे देखो मैंने एक कर्व दिया है, ये कर्व, this is not a straight line. So if you have to draw its slope at different points, तो एक काम करो तुम लोग अभी के अभी, do one thing, take 2 point A or rather 3 point B and C. Tell me at which point the slope is negative, at which point the slope is positive, and at which point the slope is 0 if it is. Let me know first. जल्दी से बताओ. क्योंकि slope क्योंकि in curve questions you need to know such things. Okay, तो जल्दी से chat section में मुझे बताना कि what answers you're getting. Done, I'm waiting. Here on YouTube also you can answer me in the chat section. ठीक है? I will be taking up that also. Yes. चलो पहले मुझे ये बताओ at which point slope is negative. Everyone come on. Slope negative कहाँ है? Slope कैसे draw करेंगे? कैसे पता करेंगे? What's the method? So if you have to calculate slope at certain point, draw their tangent and see if that tangent is making what angle with the positive x-axis. If it is making acute angle, slope will be positive. If it is making obtuse angle, slope will be negative, right? If acute angle, slope positive. If obtuse angle, slope negative. तो जल्दी से बताओ क्या आ रहा है? Okay, JNB भावनगर. It's correct. Very good. Very good. Others, please. Others, please come on. Come on, be active in the class. You need to tell me what answers you're getting. JNB Kolhapur, JNB Raichur, Tanvi. Hello world. Your audio is off. How will you hear hello or say hello? First, get connected to the audio, right? JNV Kadapa, Bhavnagar. From Bhavnagar, I got the answer. Kolhapur. Answers batao yaar, jaldi se. Come on. Where are others? This is so simple question. बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ते तुम लोग, ना तो तुम 12th वाले पढ़ते ना ही 11th वाले पढ़ते. करते क्या हो तुम लोग? Be serious in the class. If right now you're looking here and there and not doing things in the class, you're definitely spoiling yourself, not you're harming anybody else. ठीक है? तो काम करो, ध्यान से चीजों को देखो. at point A, B, C. Yeah, done. Right, you. Very good. Come on. So what you will do here, I have got some answers. Thank you so much. So at point C, if you're going to draw the tangent, it is this. And this is making an angle of greater than 90 degree. So tan of alpha will be what? Negative. And tan of alpha will be slope. So here the slope is negative. And if you're going to draw tangent at point A, so it will make an acute angle with a positive direction of x-axis. Again, here the slope will be what? Positive. And at point B, if you're going to draw the tangent, this tangent is parallel to the x-axis. So if it is parallel to the x-axis, it means how much angle it is making to the x-axis. That angle is 0. So now I hope you can draw a tangent at several points and tell me what slope it is having, right? तो ये तो clear है. चलो बहुत बढ़िया. अब एरिया अंडर कर्व जानना बहुत जरूरी है. जैसे यहाँ पे दिस इज द कर्व. नाउ व्हाट इज एरिया अंडर कर्व एंड व्हाई इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू रीड दैट विल सी लेटर, राइट? बट फर्स्ट लेट्स सी कि एरिया अंडर कर्व का क्या मतलब है. तो यहाँ पे तुम ध्यान से देखो, अगर मैं यहाँ पे इफ आई एम गोइंग टू टेक अ स्मॉल स्ट्रिप हियर एंड let's say this small strip has a width of some dx, done, and this point has a y coordinate of y, suppose. So what will be the area of this strip? This is a rectangular strip, right? Area of rectangle kya hota hai? Y into dx, sorry, length into breadth, right? So here area of the curve, small strip, that is small area, will be equal to y dx, hai na? And if we have to calculate the area of this whole region, what we will do? We will draw so many strips, and we'll add their areas, right? That we are going to do. Yes, Gandhinagar. So we are going to add this. So add के लिए क्या करते हैं? Integration करते हैं. I hope basic mathematics you all must have studied. क्योंकि I know you are in class 11. In class 12 there is integration and differentiation. But under basic mathematics and physics, you are supposed to read this integration and differentiation well before. Limits तो पढ़ना होगा 11th में ही, right? So still I am telling you कि area का क्या मतलब होता है, ठीक है? So just see कि this small strip was having area how much? Y dx. So if we have to calculate the area of this whole curve, area under this whole curve, what we will do? We will take so many small strips, calculate area and add them. So integration ये वाला जो है ना, ये इसका मतलब क्या होता है? ये कह रहा है कि sum all this, do the sum of all this. So y dx का sum क्या हो जाएगा? If we are going to take sum of all such y dx, we will get the area. So area under curve कैसे निकलता है? Area under curve, how you will calculate? If along y-axis it is y, along x-axis it is x, so y dx is the area under curve. Integration of it will give area under whole curve, right? तो चलो अभी इससे ज्यादा complicated questions नहीं आएंगे. Don't worry, you just need to understand कि area under curve निकलता कैसे है. तो y into dx, y into x you can say, right? चलो अब हम लोग पढ़ेंगे displacement time curve. So along y-axis, I have taken displacement. Along x-axis, time. Why x-axis के along मैंने time को क्यों रखा है? क्योंकि time is a independent variable, right? Time doesn't depend on anybody, right? समय अच्छा चल रहा हो या बुरा, वो चलता अपने धुन से है ना, उसका अपना ही level है चलने का. It won't count on anybody, it won't depend on anything. It will just keep on moving ahead, right? So time is an independent variable, and whatever variable is independent, उसको हम लोग x axis पे रखते हैं, ठीक है? And this displacement will depend on time, right? If depending on 1 second में displacement कुछ और होगा, 2 second में कुछ और होगा, so displacement is a dependent variable. That is why it is along the y-axis. तो कर्व में हमेशा याद रखना, along the x-axis we take independent variable, and along y-axis we take dependent variable, right? So this is displacement time. अभी देखो यहाँ पे अभी तक whatever we have studied regarding slope, how it will be useful here. तो ध्यान से देखो, slope क्या होता है? I told you slope होता है y by x, है ना? तो if I'm going to say कि y को small dy by dx भी इसको लिख सकते हैं, है ना? Done. So slope is what? Y by x tan theta. Y को छोटा y भी लेंगे और छोटे x से डिवाइड करेंगे तो भी वो मुझे slope देगा. So dy by dx, this is slope, right? So if you are going to do यहाँ पे in this curve along वाई एक्सिस व्हाट इज एस, तो इसकी जगह तुम एस लिख लो और एक्स की जगह क्या लिखोगे टी, यानी कि ds बाई dt, यानी कि क्या है ये वेलोसिटी। तो सबसे पहला कंक्लूजन क्या मिला मुझे कि slope of st curve will give us what velocity, slope of displacement time curve will give what velocity, so this thing is important, ये तुम्हें याद रखना है। slope of st curve is, this is going to give you the, its slope is going to give you what velocity। now मुझे बस दो चीज से डील करना है, स्लोप और एरिया अंडर कर्व, राइट, यही दो चीजें देखनी है, नथिंग एल्स वी नीड टू लुक एट। तो अब आप देखो एरिया अंडर कर्व क्या यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट है, अब ध्यान से सुनना। एरिया अंडर कर्व मैंने कैसे निकालने के लिए बताया, y dx बताया ना, y is along the y axis, x is along the x axis, right, here along y axis is what s, along x axis is what time, तो s dt। अब तुम ध्यान से सोचो, अभी तक काइनेमेटिक्स में क्या तुमने कुछ पढ़ा, एनी फिजिकल वेरिएबल विच इज इक्वल टू डिस्प्लेसमेंट इनटू टाइम, डिस्प्लेसमेंट इनटू टाइम किसी चीज के बराबर है, नो, it is not equal to any physical quantity, any physical quantity, this is not any physical quantity, right, it means what कि area under st curve we don't need to read, वो हमें पढ़ना नहीं है, what we have to read only slope of st curve, क्योंकि slope of st curve is giving us velocity, right, so in st curve what is important, slope, only slope, एरिया को देखना ही नहीं है, डन। अब आप यहाँ पे देखो डिस्प्लेसमेंट टाइम कर्व, अगेन you can see here if I take 3 points, just now you have done it, so if I take 3 points I can say that at this point velocity is positive, at this point velocity is 0, at this point velocity is what negative, at this point velocity is 0, at this point velocity is positive, क्यों velocity, क्योंकि this is a st curve and slope of st curve gives what, slope of st curve gives what, gives velocity, so that is why, right, area under st curve of no significance we don't need to read, उसको कर दो टाटा बाय बाय, डन। तो अब चलो vt कर्व पढ़ते हैं, so vt कर्व again we will look at two things, slope and area, so let's first see slope, तो slope of vt कर्व will be equal to what, v by t, यानी कि इसको लिख सकते हैं हम लोग dv by dt, right, so dv by dt is equal to what, acceleration, यानी कि slope of vt curve will give us what, it will give us something, and that something is a very significant quantity, physical quantity, that is acceleration, so we need to read slope of vt curve, है ना, and here you can see if vt curve is a straight line its slope will be constant, है ना, tan theta, so here acceleration is what, constant, क्यों, क्योंकि slope constant है, and this acceleration will be positive क्योंकि slope positive, right, now let's see if its area is significant or not, तो एरिया हम लोग क्या लिखेंगे, v dt लिखेंगे ना, एरिया y dx, तो y के अलोंग है v और टाइम x एक्सिस के अलोंग है टाइम, सो यू विल राइट हियर v dt, राइट, सो दिस इज द एरिया। नाउ इफ इट इज सिग्निफिकेंट, लेट्स सी, तो ये सिग्निफिकेंट है, यस इट इज सिग्निफिकेंट, क्योंकि वेलोसिटी इनटू टाइम विल गिव अस व्हाट, डिस्प्लेसमेंट, velocity into change in time will give us what, change in displacement, so area under vt curve is important and it will give us what, it will give us change in displacement in dt time, ठीक है, this will give us change in displacement, तो हमारे लिए एरिया, सॉरी, एरिया अंडर, एक सेकेंड एक्सक्यूज मी, okay, so for us area under vt curve is what, it is important, right, we need to read it, अब ये रहा, चलो velocity time curve, if you look at here again, velocity time curve slope will give us what, acceleration, so here acceleration is what, positive, here acceleration is what, 0 क्योंकि here the slope is 0 and here acceleration is what, negative, so you can read curve like this, done। अब आप देखो acceleration time curve, we discussed st curve, we discussed vt curve, now we are going to discuss at curve, तो at curve में like सबसे पहले slope पे आते हैं, if you are going to discuss the slope, suppose कर लो at curve is something like this, something like this, so slope means what, da by dt, dy by dx along y-axis, there is a, along x-axis, there is time. So dA by dt. Now, have you studied any physical quantity that is given by dA by dt? Rate of change of acceleration हमें नहीं पढ़ना है. Done. So, slope of AT curve में we won't be interested. We are not going to read it. No physical quantity it equals to, right? So, we are not going to read it. Now, let's come to the area under curve. If you are going to see area under curve, so area under curve क्या था? Y dx यानी कि A dt. Now, if A dt is equal to something, check कर लो. तो है देखो A equal to क्या था? dv by dt. So, if you are going to write it A dt, so A dt is equal to what? dv, rate of change of change in velocity, right? So A dt is actually equal to some physical quantity, and that is change in velocity. Okay. So this is all we need to have in our head. Now let me recap it. ST curve, displacement time curve, only slope is significant. Slope will give us velocity. In VT curve, both slope and area under curve is important. Slope will give us acceleration, and area under curve will give us change in displacement. And in AT curve, slope is not significant, area under curve is significant. That will give us change in velocity, right? So these are three types of simplest curve that you will get: ST, VT, AT. But sometimes we also get some different types of curve, जैसे AS curve, suppose. And how we will solve such, like what, how we can go through such curve. तो चलो इसमें एक काम करते हैं. पहले we will reach to the question, then we will do. Okay. So very first question is there on your screen. Whatever I have discussed just now, based on that, you can answer this question very easily. Let me know this. Okay. I'm giving you 2 minutes of time. Do it and let me know. Okay. Also on the YouTube, you can let me know through chat section. ठीक है? तो वहां भी तुम मुझे बता सकते हो. I'm here only, don't worry. And if you are facing any doubt in understanding the question, you can let me know. Okay? Let me know the answer in the chat section. Okay? Some more 30 seconds left. Let me know the answer, please. Please do solve it. Okay, I got one, I guess. Chenvi Gandhi Nagar. That is true, but also more answers you will get, like more options are correct. Chenvi, Raichur, Bhavnagar. Everyone with this option? No. There are more correct options. जैसे देखो यहाँ पे what the question is, a particle starts from origin. So initial position is what? 0. It starts from rest. यानी कि initial velocity is what? 0. Just JNV Kolhapur. It seems like correct. Yes, JNV Bhavnagar. Okay. Bhavnagar, it seems like true. For Kolhapur, I feel there is some problem. Okay, let's see now. So initial velocity is what? 0. It is moving with uniform acceleration. So A is constant. A is what? Constant, right? So first write whatever is given in the question and identify all the figures that correctly represent the motion. Now let's go at the first graph. Let's look at the first graph. So first graph, किसका graph है? AT curve है. And you can see here, AT curve is what? Parallel to the time axis. It means whatever is the time, A is constant. So that is true. In our question also, acceleration is what? Constant. So ये तो सही है. Let's come to second. Second किसका graph है? VT graph. And VT graph में I told you slope of VT graph is equal to what? Slope is equal to क्या होता है? dy by dx, right? So along y-axis here it is what? Velocity. So this is v. Along x-axis is what? Time. So this is time. dv by d, यानी कि acceleration. So slope of VT curve is equal to acceleration. And if slope is constant, this is a straight line. If slope is constant, it means acceleration is constant. So second graph is also telling us that acceleration is what? Constant. So this is also true. Anna? It is suiting our question. So this is also true. Now come to the second question, third graph. So if you look at third graph carefully, what's happening here? This is a xt curve, right? Slope of xt curve is equal to what? Velocity. Now what is happening here? If you see here at t equal to 0, if you see from this graph at t equal to 0, if at t equal to 0, you are going to draw the tangent, then you will see ki it's making some angle with the time axis. It means at t equal to 0, slope is not 0. And slope of xt curve gives us what? Slope of st curve gives us what? Iska slope हमें क्या देगा? Velocity. So if initially slope is not 0, it means velocity is not 0, right? But according to our question, initial velocity is what? 0. So this graph won't be true for our question, right? So this is not true. Now let's come to the option D. अगर आप option D पे आओगे, so you can see here what's happening. Again, this is also a XT curve. Okay, JNB Bhavnagar, ठीक है. So if you come to the XT curve, what you can see here, slope, what is happening to the slope is what? Velocity. And what is happening to the slope here? Slope with the time is increasing. You can see angle made with the positive x-axis is increasing. So if slope is increasing here, slope is increasing, it means velocity is increasing. And velocity in case of our question will increase or decrease. Initial velocity is 0, acceleration is constant, positive acceleration is there along the positive x-axis. So definitely if acceleration is positive, it's not retardation. Our velocity will increase with time, and here also velocity is increasing with time. So this is what? This is correct. So correct option should be what? JNB Bhavnagar. Yes. So the correct option should be what? It should be D. Okay. I hope it is clear. Anyone having any doubt in this? कुछ doubt है तो बता दो. Otherwise, we will move ahead with the next question, right? Let me know if there is any doubt. तुम लोग बोलते बहुत कम हो. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा. You all must be speaking more and more in the classroom. But whenever I ask something, everyone is muted. कुछ तो बोलो. You are free to speak. Speak in the chat section. चलो ठीक है. So this is your second question. Again, take 2 minutes of your time. Question is very easy. You will solve it within 1 minute, I must say. But I'm giving you 2 minutes. Read the question carefully, do it, and let me know the answer through the chat section. Okay? Okay, JNB Bhavnagar, no doubt. ठीक है, thank you. इस क्वेश्चन को करो. JNB गांधीनगर. एक बार और ध्यान से देखो. Do check your calculation properly. There may be calculation error, there may be conceptual error. I don't know, but do check once more. Okay. JNP Bhavnagar. Yes, that sounds correct. Okay. JNP Bhavnagar. Okay, done. Okay, all with JNP Bhavnagar. There's so many JNP Bhavnagar. YouTube पे no one replies, हाँ कोई आंसर नहीं लिख रहा है यहाँ पे. मैं सोच रही हूँ एक मैसेज भी आ जाए ऑफ आंसर, बट नो. Others, please come on. JB Kolhapur, Raichur, Kadapa, and who else? Kolhapur, Tanvi. Chalo, I've given you long 3 minutes. Okay, now I will do it. So what the question is, a particle starts from the origin at t equal to 0. First, I told you in the graph, do write whatever is given. So it's the starting from the origin. Yani ki initial position vector is what? 0. At t equal to 0, it is at x equal to 0. JNB Kadapa. Yes. Okay. Okay, done. Then this is written. Now the graph of velocity with respect to time is shown in the figure. What is the position of particle at t equal to 5 seconds? So suppose kar lo at t equal to 5 seconds, its position is x final something at t equal to 5 seconds. So what we need to find actually. So initially it is at 0. Finally it will be somewhere else. So if we know the displacement, what is change in displacement? Change in displacement in 5 seconds will be how much? If you're going to calculate ds, so it will be equal to x final minus x initial, and that will be equal to what? X final minus 0. Initially it is at 0. So change in displacement is nothing but equal to position of the particle at t equal to 5 seconds. Done. So we need to simply calculate change in displacement. Done. Important thing. And here the curve given is what? VT curve. This is which sort of curve? This is VT curve. And area under VT curve gives us what? Just recall it. Remind yourself. If this is along this, it is V. Along this is T. So area क्या होता है? Y dx. Along y-axis, there is velocity. Along x-axis, there is time. So this is v dt. V dt is equal to what? ds. So area under vt curve will gives us what? Displacement. Change in displacement, right? यहाँ पे you needed to calculate displacement or position at 5 seconds. So 5 second कहाँ है देखो? यहाँ है 5 seconds. This much. This is 5 seconds. Done. So if we are able to calculate area under curve up to 5 second, we can calculate change in displacement, right? So देखो area under curve क्या क्या होगा? Area under curve will be this whole. So this will be sum of first area of this triangle, then area of this square, and then area of this rectangle. So area under curve up to 5 seconds. Calculate this, right? You just need to calculate this. अब देखो area of this triangle will be how much? So चलो मैं इसको A1 बुलाती हूँ, इसको A2 और इसको A3. Done. So change in displacement will be equal to how much? A1 plus A2 plus A3. Now just write A1. A1 is what? Half. That is triangle, right? So write half base into height. Base is how much? 2. Height is how much? 2. This is this plus A2. This is the square. So its length is 2, height is 2. So that is 2 into 2 plus A3. A3 is this, right? Its height is how much? That is equal to 3. And its width is how much? 1. So that is 3 into 1. How much it is? 2 plus 4 plus 3. So that is equal to 9 meters. Now ds is equal to what? ds is equal to xf minus xi. That is equal to xf, right? So 9 meters will be the answer. One important thing I want to tell you, if the ग्राफ अगर कुछ ऐसा होता, ठीक है, अगर कुछ इधर भी होता, अगर इसका एरिया निकाल रहे हो, पुट द नेगेटिव, पुट द एरिया विथ नेगेटिव साइन, क्योंकि इफ ग्राफ इज बिलो x axis, then its y value will be negative, x value will be positive, and area will be taken as negative, not positive. ठीक है, so area को साइन के साथ लेना है, but here graph portion, all the portion of graph up to 5 seconds is above x axis, that is why all area values are positive. ठीक है, done. I hope it is clear. Anyone having any doubt in understanding things, so let me know. किसी को डाउट है? ओके, नो थैंक यू। ठीक है, चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन करते हैं, काफी इजी है, अगेन डू इट। नाउ दिस इज, देखो v वर्सेस x कर, जैसे आई स्केप दैट पोर्शन ना, तो लेट मी टेक यू देयर। तो यहाँ पे देखो मैंने डिस्कस किया कि इफ ग्राफ इज नॉट s वर्सेस t, नॉट v वर्सेस t, नॉट a वर्सेस t, then what we will do? If graph is a versus s, v versus s, what we will do? Nothing, we just need to write the equation of the curve first. Very first thing that you are going to do, write the equation of the curve. तो यहाँ पे देखो, you must be knowing right now, up to now कि how to write the equation of a straight line. Equation of a straight line क्या होता है? If you remember the standard equation of a straight line, then that is equal to what? Y equal to mx plus c, है ना? You remember or not? So this is a slope of the straight line and this is y intercept. अब देखो ये बनाना कैसे है, मैं एक बार तुम लोगों को एक्सप्लेन भी कर देती हूँ। सपोज आई एम गोइंग टू राइट इक्वेशन ऑफ टू कर्व, वन इज दिस फर्स्ट कर्व एंड अनदर इज दिस सेकंड कर्व। अगर मुझे दोनों का इक्वेशन लिखना है, हाउ आई विल राइट द इक्वेशन? Done. So basically to solve AS curve and BS curve, first step is to write the equation of the curve. You should know it, right? तो कैसे लिखोगे? Y equal to, अब देखो पहले लाइन का अगर मैं इक्वेशन लिखूं तो फर्स्ट लाइन स्लोप विल बी व्हाट? पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव? नेगेटिव, क्योंकि इट इज मेकिंग ऑब्ट्यूज एंगल विद द पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन ऑफ एक्स एक्सिस, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट? स्लोप इज नेगेटिव, सो आप y लिखोगे, y इक्वल टू माइनस mx, स्लोप नेगेटिव है इसलिए मैंने लिया। नाउ व्हाट इज द y इंटरसेप्ट? y इंटरसेप्ट का मतलब जस्ट ट्राई टू सी कि वेयर द लाइन इज कटिंग y एक्सिस। सो दिस लाइन इज कटिंग y एक्सिस वेयर? हियर। सो पॉइंट, डिस्टेंस ऑफ दिस पॉइंट फ्रॉम द ओरिजिन विल बी टेकन एज y इंटरसेप्ट। सो हियर y इंटरसेप्ट इज पॉजिटिव, तो यहाँ पे मैं क्या लिखूंगी? प्लस। सो दिस इज इक्वेशन ऑफ फर्स्ट लाइन। ओके, इफ आई हैव टू राइट द इक्वेशन of second line, so second line को ध्यान से देखो, how much angle it is making with the positive direction of x axis, how much angle it is making? If you see acute angle, so here slope will be positive, so equation क्या लिखोगे? Y is equal to mx. Now let us look at the intercept. So where it is cutting y axis? Here, and its distance from the origin will be negative क्योंकि it is below x axis. So here you will write minus c. This is the equation of second line. Okay. Now come to this curve. यहाँ पे आप equation लिख सकते हो अब a equal to, क्योंकि along y axis it is a equal to slope of it will be what? Negative, minus m, along x axis there is s, so minus ms plus c. Intercept positive. And now this is this. So once you are done with writing the equation, तो अगर तुम इक्वेशन लिख लिए हो, योर वन जॉब इज ओवर. नेक्स्ट योर जॉब इज टू फाइंड रिलेशन बिटवीन टू वेरिएबल्स. हियर टू वेरिएबल्स आर व्हाट? एक्सेलरेशन एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट. तो व्हाट विल बी रिलेशन बिटवीन दिस टू? तो देखो ध्यान से एक चीज देखो, एक्सेलरेशन को हम लोग क्या लिखते हैं? dv by dt लिखते हैं ना. नाउ ट्राई टू रिमूव टाइम वेरिएबल एंड ट्राई टू इंक्लूड डिस्प्लेसमेंट वेरिएबल. कैसे करेंगे? देखो अभी सिंपल, तुम लोग पढ़े भी होंगे. dv by dx से डिवाइड कर दो, dx से मल्टीप्लाई कर दो by dt. अब देखो अभी भी ये dv by dt है, I have multiplied it with dx, divided it with dx, right? So now, but if we are taking dx by dt together, it will become velocity. So v into dv by dx. Acceleration can be written something like that. तो यहाँ पे यू कैन डिस्प्लेस एक्सेलरेशन विथ v dv by dx डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट इज द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ क्वेश्चन, ठीक है। तो अभी तुम्हें पूरा समझ में नहीं आया होगा कि करना कैसे है, बट वंस यू विल स्टार्ट डूइंग क्वेश्चन ना यू विल स्टार्ट अंडरस्टैंड, ठीक है। तो देखो इस कर्व में भी तुम्हें सबसे पहला काम क्या करना होगा, राइट द इक्वेशन। So equation is v equal to minus ms plus c. Done. So this is the equation. Now this is a relation between v and x here. So according to the requirement of question, we will break it. अब देखो क्वेश्चन पे चलते हैं तब हमें समझ में आएगा और सही से। तो here curve is between v and x. You have to see कि what will be curve between a and x. तो अब मुझे थोड़ा सा तुम लोग सोचो और बताओ क्या आंसर हो सकता है। Take your 2 minutes of time and try doing it. जितना सोचोगे, the more you will think, the more you will understand. So it's your time now. Think over it and try to do it. Okay, I got one answer. Okay, JNB Gandhinagar, JNB Bhavnagar. Okay, different answers I'm getting. I don't know which one is correct. Okay. चलो ठीक है, let us keep the suspense. JNB Bhavnagar. Okay. अच्छा, भावनगर से मुझे दो आंसर मिल गए, चलो ठीक है। अच्छा, डन। JNB गांधीनगर भावनगर। ओके ओके, काफी स्मार्ट हो तुम लोग। और सारे लोग JNB गांधीनगर। ओके, ओनली वन ऑप्शन यू आर नॉट गिवन। सारे आ गए हैं। और सारे लोग JNB रायचूर, तानवी, कोल्हापुर, कडप्पा। क्या हो गया, सब शांति से बैठे हो। वन पर्सन है ज्वाइंड विथ नंबर, मतलब इन द प्लेस ऑफ नेम नंबर इज गिवन, हु इज ही और सी। ओके, JNB भावनगर। चलो बहुत सारे लोगों ने आंसर किया, तो मैं सस्पेंस को तोड़ती हूँ। पहले तो ये बता देती हूँ करेक्ट आंसर क्या है ना। सो करेक्ट आंसर इज योर A. Lots of you have given me A as the answer. Oh, thank you. So how you solved it? सबसे पहले आपने इक्वेशन लिखा होगा, v equal to what you will write, minus slope is negative, so minus mx. मैं slope को निकाल नहीं रही हूँ, you can calculate it here also. तो चलो इक्वेशन ही लिखना है तो why to find it out, है ना। वैल्यूज तो निकालने नहीं है, सिंपली वी हैव टू प्रेडिक्ट द इक्वेशन। सो ऐसा कुछ लिख दिया। v वर्सेस x का ग्राफ मुझे मिल गया। JNB कडप्पा करेक्ट, JNB गांधीनगर चेक कर लो एक बार और। तो वी हैव टू राइट a वर्सेस x कर्व। हाउ वी विल रीच टू a वर्सेस x कर्व? अभी अभी मैंने लिखा था a इक्वल टू व्हाट, v dv by dx, राइट। सो यहाँ से a वर्सेस x कर्व में हाउ वी विल रीच, हाउ यू रीच्ड हियर, what equation you used, anybody? I just want to know. Yes. अच्छा ठीक है, चलो तो एक काम करते हैं, we have this equation, right? अब देखो क्वेश्चन करोगे तभी आइडिया मिलता है, ठीक है। So doing question is very important, even if you're not able to reach here, it's okay. So differentiate it with respect to time. So dv by dt equal to minus m dx by dt plus dc by dt. C is a constant, right? So its differentiation will be equal to 0, and dv by dt is acceleration minus mv. So this is velocity, right? अब देखो a equal to minus m and v is equal to what? Again v equal to minus mx plus c. तो यहाँ पे v का वैल्यू रख दो, सिंपल, माइनस mx प्लस c। अब देखो दिस इज इक्वेशन ऑफ a वर्सेस x का इक्वेशन मिल गया ना मुझे। सो a इक्वल टू m माइनस माइनस प्लस हो जाएगा mx, सॉरी m स्क्वायर x माइनस mc. सो जस्ट यू लुक एट हियर केयरफुली, स्लोप इज पॉजिटिव, इंटरसेप्ट इज व्हाट, इंटरसेप्ट इज नेगेटिव। सो स्लोप हैज टू बी पॉजिटिव, इंटरसेप्ट नेगेटिव। तो इंटरसेप्ट देखो यहाँ पे नेगेटिव है, स्लोप, इट्स स्लोप इज व्हाट, पॉजिटिव। सो फर्स्ट इज योर करेक्ट आंसर। सेकंड रॉन्ग होगा, हियर इंटरसेप्ट इज पॉजिटिव, सो दिस इज रॉन्ग। Here you can see A versus X curve is a constant. This is not true. Again, if you look at this equation, so if you are going to extend it, its intercept is what? Its intercept is negative, but its slope is also negative, which is not true, right? So this is also not correct. I hope it is clear. चलो अब मुझे ये क्वेश्चन करके बताओ. We have 5 minutes with us. Let's you people take 2 minutes, do it and let me know. जेनवी रायचू एक बार और ध्यान से देखो. When a body is in the air, acceleration changes or what? Acceleration due to gravity remains constant now. A should be constant, right? Like when you are throwing ball up, acceleration due to gravity is in downward direction minus, downward direction with magnitude g. Also, when the ball is coming down, acceleration due to gravity is same g in the downward direction, right? चेन्नई, भावनगर, गांधीनगर, एक बार और ध्यान से देखो. भावनगर, भावनगर, करेक्ट. दैट नंबर, एक बार ये नंबर चेंज कर लो. मैं कैसे बुलाऊं? व्हाट्स योर नेम प्लीज लेट मी नो. जेनवी कडप्पा, एक बार और चेक करो. जेनवी भावनगर, you moved from being right to wrong. I'm telling you, when a body is thrown vertically upward, right? You're throwing something upward. Which one of the following graphs correctly represent the velocity versus time curve? So if you're throwing something upward, it will come down also, right? Yes, that's true. Okay, so during motion of ball under gravity, its acceleration is going to change or not? देखो मैं तुम्हें आंसर बता दिया यार. I'm telling you कि acceleration will remain constant. तुमने बॉल को ऊपर फेंका, force is acting vertically downward only. जैसे बॉल को हमने ऊपर की तरफ फेंका, when ball is going up, force is acting downward. Even when ball is coming down, force is acting downward. Always force is acting downward. If force is acting always downward, it means acceleration is always downward. So acceleration is constant. Downward means always downward having magnitude g. So its direction is towards negative y-axis and its magnitude is constant. So this is a VT curve. VT curve का slope क्या देता है? VT curve का जो slope होता है, slope of VT curve is what? dv by dt. So this is what? Constant. If this is constant, here it is constant. If slope of VT curve is constant, it means acceleration will be constant, है ना? तो आप first curve में चले जाओ. First curve में up to certain time, what is happening? This curve can't ever be true. You know why? जैसे ध्यान से देखो, यहाँ पे initially slope is negative, so acceleration is negative something. Now after this instant of time started decreasing. Time कभी घटता नहीं है, time तो बढ़ता ही जाता ना. So this equation can't ever be true. ये nature के against जा रहा, इसको तो पहले ही कट करो. Now look at this graph. इस graph को अगर देखो, तो initially for some time its slope is negative, so acceleration is negative. And again for another interval of time, what is happening? Slope is positive. So acceleration is becoming positive. So acceleration is becoming initially negative, then positive. But in free fall, acceleration will always be in one direction with constant value g, right? Its direction is not going to change. So यहाँ पे अगर तुम ध्यान से देखो, ये जो graph है, its slope is constant, right? And its slope is negative. So this is true, right? This is also not true for the same reason. Here its slope is changing from positive to negative. And if slope is changing from positive to negative, it means acceleration is changing from positive to negative. It means direction of force is changing from being positive to negative. मतलब initially अगर upward direction force था, So finally, after some interval of time, force is acting in the downward direction, which is not true in free fall. कोई भी चीज को जब तुम ऊपर फेंकते हो, force is acting downward, even when that particular thing is going up and then coming down, है ना? So acceleration will be constant. I hope it is clear. So correct answer should be what? It should be B. अब इस क्वेश्चन को I want you all to note down. ठीक है, इसको तुम लोग नोट डाउन करो और इस पे थोड़ा सा सही से सारे ग्राफ को एनालाइज करना. Why certain graph is drawn in what way? Just try to go through these graphs और इस पे थोड़ा सा समय देना. Try to think over it. Which one is incorrect? I will give you the answer also. So correct answer is this. Based on that, try to understand ki why first is not true, second is not true, third, like why first is for option A, option B, option D talks about the same motion, but option C doesn't talk about the same. Okay? So you need to know about it. Okay? JNB Bhavnagar. Yes. चलो ठीक है. Okay, so that is all for the today's class. And in the next class, you will be learning, I guess, 2D motion, that is projectile kind of thing. So for graph thing, I have discussed all the basic that you need to know to solve graphical portion of this subject. Okay, so I hope तुम लोग समझ गए हो. Try to do more and more of questions. Then only you will be more confident in any topic done. So try to put in more effort. Okay. Take care of yourself, do study, and do join classes on time and keep reading. Chalo, bye bye.